Well, Jeff, what's the good word?
Excited to be playing in the state of Texas. I know our crowd will be fired up about that. And got a really good opponent in Marshall. Got a lot of respect for Coach Huff and their tradition. I mean, whenever you make a bowl for 10 out of the last 11 years, I think 7 in a row, that's incredible. That's where we want to get to here at UTSA, and we're excited to be going to our fourth bowl in a row. But when you speak of 10 out of 11 as compared to 4, that just shows you the tradition of their program.
You guys have played in Frisco before. Do you think having been there will kind of help with familiarizing when y'all get there?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that we'll at least know, the surface and the stadium, all those things you just don't kind of know. But more than anything, I'm just excited about how close it is to San Antonio, because I know how our crowd travels. What a great job they did getting to Tulane and giving us great support. They've done it all year. In Tennessee, they were there. It doesn't matter where we go, those guys show up. And I know the last time we were in Frisco, our crowd was incredible, and I'm sure it'll be even better this time around.
Is there anything you wanted to see prioritized or that was important for UTSA as you go through the bowl selection process this year?
That's one of those kind of things Dr. Compost and I are always in communication with about, and she always asks me like what my preference is. But I'm a Texas dude, so I like to stay in Texas as much as I can. And she's always in favor of whatever our kids are for. And when we spoke to our players, they wanted to play before Christmas and preferably somewhere not cold. They had a great time in Florida last year, but we didn't know if that would be able to happen. If that didn't happen, we were hoping for a Texas one. And nothing against Boston or Annapolis; those are wonderful places, but I'd rather be in Texas.
I know last year the destination was a big talking point and you guys wanted something that kind of felt like a celebration in some ways. Is this year more about the football component or more of a focus on that side of it?
It's just, it's 6-1, half a dozen in another. Those guys had a great time. They did. But they also appreciate their crowd. And it's just easier on our crowd if we're closer to San Antonio.
Jeff, how important is this extra practice time for your team?
It's always good. We've got some young players that we redshirted that only played in 4 games, and now they're allowed to play in this bowl game. So that's a good rule. So that'll have some excitement, pick up some extra bodies on special teams, and those kind of deals. So it's always good. It's fun to go to a bowl, and it's hard. I know we've gotten spoiled. We expect to win every game here, which is a good thing. That's how you get to those kind of levels, is when your fan base and your administration and all your coaches and your players expect to win them all. But it's hard to make a bowl, and we're really excited to be going back.
What's your health situation looking like going into that game?
I would hope that Tulane game was extremely physical. We really left it on the field. We played it so hard, and we're banged up. But we expect to get some guys back that have been out. But we'll see what that looks like. We thought we were going to be maybe playing a later date, so we had kind of planned a different strategy for their rehab. And now that we know we've got an earlier date, we'll expedite that.
This team has talked for years about wanting to get the first bowl win under their belt. How do you sense the hunger right now within the group to try to chase that goal?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever been lacking. I mean, our very first year, I didn't even get to go. It was COVID. It was weird. And then we draw maybe the best G5 team there was, and Ulala and Billy Napier. And, I remember watching that game from my computer in my house, and our kids competed their tails off. And very proud of how they performed. And then the next year, we get San Diego State, who literally had COVID the week before in their championship game, and it probably cost them their championship. And we won our championship. We didn't have COVID, and then we all got COVID the next week. So that was frustrating. I think even JJ got COVID during that time. And then last year, Troy, just what a great job Coach Summerall and them did. And we've played 3 really good teams to the tilt 3 years in a row. So I don't think it's ever been lack of effort or extra motivation. I did go over with our team. There's only a few things left we can do here historically. We haven't been to a New Year's Six, and we didn't do that again, and we haven't won a bowl game yet. There's some other things I'm sure you guys will remind me of, but those are things that come to the top of my head that we could knock off. We could get this first bowl.
Do you know at this point who's going to be sitting, who doesn't want to play in this because of their future? Have you guys started to have those discussions amongst the players, and do you kind of have an idea of who's suiting up?
Yeah, I would expect, yeah. I'd rather comment after this week because things can just change. But as of today's team meeting, you know, at 1:30, the Roadrunners were all in. Now, I will say that the last time we went to the Frisco Bowl, we were all in until about 3 days before the game, or maybe 5 days. So that was tough. But really, but look, and I can remember some people being upset that, you know, I let those kids be on the sideline, and those kids are two of the most wonderful kids in the world, and they're both in the league right now, and love them. So it's just it's all from your own perspective. Like, where's your perspective from? If you're a fan, you're about the Roadrunners only. Well, if you're the student athlete, there's some other decisions there. So I am going to support those kids, whatever they decide. And whoever is out there, we're going to coach the heck out of them. We'll try to win a bowl game. But as of right now, we're 100% in.
Jeff Houston hired Willie Fritz this morning, kind of ends the coaching carousel in Texas, at least it seems. What does it mean for you to kind of have that whole process out of the way, the emotions of getting ready for a bowl game without that stuff swirling around?
There was none of that stuff ever bothered me to begin with. I've had a great job, and there's always speculation, right? And I know you media people believe that everything that's out there is factual, but I got bad news for you. Like, I have all that stuff muted. I don't have a clue what is said, but I've got a wife and children and friends that it's their mission to stalk and find everybody that says a negative word out there. So I usually find out what they say. And like, I remember Carrie and I were having dinner, and this man says that you're talking to this school like right now. I said, well, baby, I'm sitting here looking at you right now. So we know that guy's not telling the truth, right? So most of that stuff is clickbait and speculation. And there's always gonna be speculation. As long as there's a Texas job open, they're gonna always have my name in it. And if I were to get into the specifics of what is accurate and what's not accurate, we'd go down a rabbit hole that would just take forever. And I just don't care to get into the specifics. But I have a job that I love and am dedicated to trying to make this thing be everything that we can be.
We talked last weekend about the effort to try to get a little extra money towards the football budget. How has that process progressed since then, if at all?
That's an ongoing conversation that Dr. Compost and I have like every day. She will tell you that I'm exhausting when it comes to trying to get us where we need to. And it's not just like us, it's everybody in the country. Ours is just a little bit different. We've only been playing ball for 12 years. We're at the top of Conference USA in almost every category, top 3 for sure. And when you go to the AAC, and I'm watching SMU and Tulane playing the championship game, it makes me sick at my stomach. Like, I can't even stand to watch it. And I want to give our kids, just like she does, every advantage possible. Whether that's recruiting, whether that's coaches, off-field, academics, compliance, strength staff, the way we travel, our uniforms. There's just so many things that are needed to stay successful, and it's not going to happen if we're not always pushing, and we have been. But it's not my job to like reflect and be grateful, right? That's what she's great at, and that's what y'all are great at. I've got to go. I've got to push because every day here we have met somebody, a new booster, somebody that's just, it's unbelievable where our tickets are, the suites we sold, the amount of money that's being given right now. It's a team effort, and I know it probably gets exhausting hearing me talk about that, but we have to. And hopefully we're in a new league in about 5 more years, and we're doing this all again. But right now we're in this league, and we got to get back to the top. And right now SMU is the top, and not us.
Jeff, you probably haven't noticed because you said you don't watch some of the stuff, but it's been a tense few weeks for the Roadrunner fans. What will be your message to all the Roadrunner faithful out there who are worried that you might leave and want you to stay?
Well, it's flattering. I appreciate you saying that because it means they want me to be here, right? And I just hope it's never been taken any other way because it's never, ever been true. I mean, I'm not stupid. I signed an incredibly large buyout for a 10-year contract. There's only a couple of schools in the country that would be willing to probably pay that buyout. That's probably the only couple of schools in the country I might even really listen to, right? So this is the place I want to be. I'm grateful for the opportunity I was given. We've had a lot of success. There's a lot of people that want to talk to us about that success and how's it happening and why is it happening. And as long as we're winning, that's going to continue to be that way. But we've still got stuff to do here, right? I mean, I'm in a $40 million building right now, 45, whatever it is. And we are proud of this, right? But right outside of there, I've got to get a pavilion built. That's got to happen. It's not going to happen if I just shut up and don't keep reminding people. Because there are people in this city that have already proven they can make it happen in one check. And we've got a lot of people writing small checks, big checks, and huge checks, which have allowed us to be very successful so far. So Carrie and I love it here, and hopefully we're here 8 more years to finish this contract out.
Jeff, with the portal opening up Monday, I believe, just talk about what your process is going into that.
Yeah, you know, I love my kids, and I want what's best for them. If they really can't play here, we're going to help them and try to communicate with other coaches that might be. That's the way it's supposed to be. We do have people already tampering with our kids, already messing with them. And if they want to go try that out, we have a great example in what happened with Zakari. That will be a teachable moment for us, that the grass is not always green on the other side of the fence. And I know our guys are very grateful how we treat them. They know our NIL money is not what those guys are offering them. But, you know, what Bob Wills has done with 210 City Fans and what Martin Salinas and April Lanciera have done with 210inspired.org, we've at least made it where our kids can maybe go get a car and some insurance and a cell phone and make their lives a little better. And I think that'll be a good teachable moment for us. I hope I don't lose anybody, but I do know there are already people following the rules correctly. They're going to the Texas high school coach who calls me immediately and lets me know which schools are trying to mess with our kids. There's nothing wrong with that. They're doing it the right way, but every coach they call in Texas, it's a high school football coach, is going to let me know. So colleges just know that.
Jeff, how active do you think the Roadrunners will be in the portal trying to get new players? Is that something still to be determined?
Yeah, we've got a lot of players that we recruited in the past that have gone off and come back and played here. And obviously the portal's not open yet, and I would imagine on the 4th, there'll be some guys jump in that'll reach out to us and say, we should have picked UTSA the first time, and we're ready to come back home for whatever the situation might be. So if it's a relationship that we've had previously and they can make our roster better, we're going to be engaged in those conversations. But we're going to wait till the rules are, which is the 4th. So we'll start on that Monday.
And how do you measure, if you don't mind me asking, how you try to focus on winning a bowl game, but yet, do you have to have an eye on the future too for, some guys that are coming up that will be playing a lot next year? And, where do you kind of draw the line on winning as opposed to getting somebody maybe ready or some valuable experience for next year?
It's a balance. Like, for example, we're recruiting this week too. We've got official visits. We've got coaches all over the country right now. They're on planes. And now we've got to get back and get ready to practice Thursday. So that's always a balance. Anything we've committed to with our words, we're going to try to honor that. So if we've told an offensive line we're going to be somewhere on a Tuesday night, we're going to try to honor that. And my guys are going to have to prepare on the road. As far as playing time for the future, there's never any consideration of that. You try to win the game. There's zero of that. If they deserve to play, they'll play. If they can help us win, they'll play. If they can't help us win, they will not play.
All right, Jeff, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.